Okay, we're here in the middle of London Bridge, right in the heart of London. Thousands upon thousands of people are on their way to work. Some people are willingly doing this, and some people are unwillingly doing this, but bills have to be paid. Some people choose to do this, and some people like to do this. So how do you escape your career, a job that you hate, can't stand being in, and create a lifestyle of health, wealth, and freedom for yourself? So first and foremost, our biggest asset is our time. If you're dedicating 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, for 40 years of your life and retiring on less than 40% of what you earned in the first place, you might want to put yourself in a position where you're leveraging this technological aid to seek out an alternative way to earn income streams. So you're asking yourself, how do I do that? Be patient. So what I'm not saying to you is give up your job tomorrow, go out and buy a load of cryptocurrency, go and sell on eBay, Amazon, etc., etc. But there are 3 key ways which I use in order to get out of the rat race, live outside of the UK, leverage my currency or leverage my earnings from the UK, and live at a higher standard of living. Here's how. So, number 1, finding a hustle, but not just finding a hustle and working at the same time. So I started off by frequenting loads and loads of seminars on property, seminars on selling products online, etc., etc. I was so desperate to find something because I was in a tremendous amount of debt at the time. I'm not going to go into the mechanics of what happened, but there was a happily ever after story, because here I am. One thing I would say is the hunger has to be there, because you're gonna receive so many knockbacks, and there's gonna be so much information that doesn't necessarily work. If you have a purpose or a cause, I mean, my main cause, like I said to you before, the main purpose was I was in a tremendous amount of debt, had loads and loads of bills to pay, a mortgage to maintain, etc., etc. So you have to find a purpose. How you find your hustle is continuously searching. Don't just jump into the first thing that you see. So there is a huge, I call it a public relations campaign when it comes to cryptocurrency. Now everybody and his dog is jumping on it. I haven't jumped upon it because of the fact that this is my own personal opinion. I think it's a trend, it's a bubble that will eventually burst. However, if you are thinking about going into that industry, educate yourself as much as possible, read as much as possible before you invest your money. One of the biggest mistakes that I made was when I started selling products online, I went into the business before investing time. So I continuously lost money for 14 months and then eventually made money, but I didn't have to go through that process. If I'd learn before I earn, or learn before I earn, yeah, didn't mean to make that rhyme, but if I'd learned stuff before I went out there to earn, I wouldn't have subsequently lost as much money for 14 months. And the reason why I got up to the stage of 14 months was through sheer perseverance. Not everybody's got that sort of perseverance. One thing I would say is be prepared to make mistakes. Okay, you're going to lose money. There's going to be hard times. There may be subsequent hard times, and this is what makes me resort back to having a purpose or having a cause, because of the fact that it is hard. We've all heard the saying, it's such a cliche, if it was easy everybody would be doing it, but the reason why that is such a common cliche is because it's so true. Now, I'm not trying to discount anything, but the reason why the system teaches us to go out there and work a 9 to 5 is because for the most part it's not as hard as going out there and stumbling and falling and stumbling and falling and eventually finding the intelligence or learning from all the mistakes that you make in order to gain some form of financial success. Okay, number 2, building up cash reserves. So once you've started your business and you've made somewhat of a success of it, make sure you hold on to the money. One of the biggest mistakes that I made was I started to make money and I started to spend money. I didn't understand the mechanics or how money worked. Everybody around me would earn their paychecks, they would go out and spend their money on utilities or things which didn't generate any money. The habit that I'm into now, what I've been taught over time, is earning money, reserving that money or saving that money, reinvesting the money to make my asset or to make my business bigger, so I can reinvest in other things which I don't have to work for, i.e. property, etc., etc. One thing I want to say, just as a side note, there are going to be a lot of knocks, and I know I've mentioned this before in previous videos. There's going to be a lot of failure, but you have to keep on going. What you dreamed of, what you've envisioned, it's there, it's in the ether, but you have to have the passion and the desire to keep on moving forward. Now, the reason why I make so much of an emphasis on this is because I've been through some very, very difficult times. For me to reach this stage, we're on the island of San Andreas at present, has taken a heck of a lot of work, some 11, some 12-hour days, some 11, 12-hour days, 7 days of the week, and it's been difficult. It's been really difficult, but it's only now that I inhale bliss and exhale bliss. So keep on pushing forward. So one of my main solutions to the tears or the harder times that I've been through is listening to a lot of audiobooks, watching a lot of various different things on YouTube. And what I do, I go through stages. So I listen to people like Brian Tracy. I may listen to him for like a week or two, and I get various different tips on sales, etc. And I move on to somebody else. I keep on moving. So I have these digital distant mentors, if you will, as well as the mentors that are around me. One of the things I'd like to emphasize on is studying your craft. Set aside an hour each and every day to study a particular facet of your craft. This is the information age, and he who basically holds the information holds the gold. The boundaries are now more lower than they've ever been to segue yourself out of the rat race. So it's not as hard as what you think. The internet has made it of such that you can go out there, learn a particular topic, watch thousands and thousands and thousands of hours on YouTube or Dailymotion or whatever medium you choose, Facebook, etc., to learn about a specific craft. Go out there onto the internet once again, find the mentors, find the groups that you need in order to learn and apply that knowledge and start to earn. Until next time. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also leave a comment. Even if you're not watching it on YouTube, go over to YouTube, like and subscribe and leave a comment. You can also find me on social media. Yep, that's me, Ben Kofi. Just send me a request.